Ho ho, folks! Today I'm going to be reviewing a game called the Polar Express Game. This game came out in 2004 and is for 2 to 4 players ages 8 and up. Now, this game is based off of the movie, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, and the object of this game is to be the first player to reach the North Pole. Now, this game basically uses cards for movement. It doesn't have any dice, so there's cards that are going to help you move forward. There's also some cards that are going to make your opponents move backwards, and also some cards that are going to try to prevent your opponent from playing certain cards on you that can mess you up. Anyway, this game kind of plays a lot like Candyland, but I guess you could say it's a little bit more of an advanced version. But this is mainly a kid's game, but if you're an adult, you might like it too. So let me show you how it works. Okay, folks, as always, I'm going to go ahead and just show you the components really quick. Of course, you have the game board, and this is the home spot, and the North Pole is all the way up there, and your goal is to try to get to the North Pole first. These are the tokens. There's 4 of these, and these are just little cubes that you're going to be using. These are cards that you are going to be dealing out to the players. Each player is going to start with 4 different cards. These here is this little Christmas Santa bag, and in here are what are called Christmas wishes. There's a bunch of these, and basically whoever wins the game is going to pick up a Christmas wish, and they're going to dole out Christmas wishes to everybody else. Here's one: there is no greater gift than friendship. These here are the little sleigh bells, and whoever wins the game is going to ring these before they give out their wishes. Ho, ho, ho! Okay, so each player is going to start with 4 cards in their hand like so, and when it becomes their turn, they're going to draw their card, and they're going to draw up to 5. Now, you're basically going to play these cards, and you're going to be able to move that number of spaces forward. So let's say I went ahead and I played a 6. I put the 6 here, and then I would just move my guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like so. And then on my next turn, I would draw another card and possibly repeat the process. Now, if I happen to have 3 of the same card in my hand like so, I can play 3 of a kind like this and move on to what is called the station. Now there's, I think, 5 stations, or 6 actually. There's a department store, there's Chocolate Corner over here, there's the Great Polar Ice Cap, Reindeer Run, the Clock Tower Terminal, and then of course the North Pole. And the real significance of these stations is there are certain cards that are going to knock you back to the station that you are at. So say you are over here and someone plays a card that knocks you back to the station, it will knock you back over here as opposed to knocking you all the way back to this station over here. And another way you can move forward is by using a specialty card. There's an express card over here that says skip the next player and move ahead 8 spaces. So if you play that, you will go ahead and move 8 spaces, and the next player after you is going to get skipped. There's the Santa card, which is like the Big Daddy card over here. This is going to move you to the next station, and there are no cards that can stop this card. The Santa card is the Big Daddy right over here. Let me see. There is Glacier Gulch. This is a card that will allow you to move ahead 8 spaces, and it's going to send the lead player back to their previous station. Now, another way you can move your opponent back is if you say, let's say your opponent was over here, and you were here, let's say you played a 3. You can move 1, 2, 3, and then your opponent would have to move back 3 because you landed on the same spot as he did. Now here's some cards that will move your opponent back. This is another thing that you can do. This is the Avalanche. This one says all other players slide back 7 spaces. That's a pretty nasty card. Now there's a couple of protection cards here as well. These cards will protect you in case someone plays one of these special cards on you. You have the Hobo. This will protect you from the Express, the Caribou Crossing, the Avalanche, and the Glacier Gulch card. So if someone plays one of those cards on you, you can throw a Hobo on them and it will nullify that card. The Caribou Crossing is this one. If someone plays a 3 of a kind, they try to move to the next station. If you play this card, you can play this out of turn, then that is going to nullify those 3 cards, so they're going to have to stay where they are. Now, there's a couple of spaces here that will probably remind you of Candyland. You have the bridge over here, and then you have the slide. If you land on the bridge here by exact count, you're going to be able to move up to here. Also, if you happen to land on here by exact count or someone moves you to this spot, you're going to have to slide down all the way over here. Let's say we're starting at home. I go ahead and I draw a card, and I play a 6, so I'm going to go ahead and move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! So then I go to this guy, and let's say he plays a Glacier Gulch. So now this guy's going to move ahead 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to have to move all the way back here. If you're like all the way over here and you play 3 cards in a row and no one can stop you, you can zip all the way over to the North Pole. And basically that's how the game works. It's just one of those games where you're just trying to move yourself forward and trying to keep your opponents from moving forward or moving them backwards, and just kind of playing these little nasty cards on each other until somebody gets to the North Pole. And once somebody gets over to the North Pole, they're going to ring this little bell. And then they're going to, as I said, hand out all these little Christmas wishes. And these are just nice little things here. Like I said, kind of like a fortune cookie. So anyway, that's kind of how the game works. It's pretty simple. As far as my thoughts on this game, well, this isn't a game that I'm obviously not going to be playing very often. I could see this game kind of being a tradition in some families. If you have your typical family that likes Christmas and has some children in it and stuff like that, this could be a game that might be brought out every once in a little while during the Christmas holidays. The gameplay is very simple. It's not complicated at all. As far as the game itself goes, it's a children's game, so you know what, if you're an adult, this is a game that you could, I'm sure, enjoy with your children, and maybe even just with your spouse. That's just my little review on this game, so happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Ho ho!